Who says visual puzzles can't be an amazing trick? Mimic is a visual card effect that can be performed beyond language barriers. The premise is simple. Tear any pips off any card, restructure its molecules, and visually turn that little corner into a full-size card that you desire in your spectator's hand.
Oh my god!
It's visual, it's illogical, and it fools people so bad it makes them cry for help.
Touch any of the cards, anyone. This one, remember the card. This one, 5 hearts. It's not your card. I'm gonna borrow a heart like this right inside here, okay? This still match with your card, right?
Mimic comes with a professionally manufactured gimmick that will last you a lifetime.
That was my card.
That is your card.
So scary.
Think about your card. 1, 2, 3. Shoo.
Fool them now worldwide.
Hey guys, this is Jason from Sense Minds Magic. Thank you so much for supporting us and picking up this project. And this effect is so special, it looks so good even beyond magic. It looks just like an illusion. It turns a pip into a full-size card right underneath your audience nose. And the crazy part is, the illusion looks so convincing, you'll even fool yourself. I cannot wait for this. Let's get into the secret section. Alright guys, the secret for this effect is very simple. We're going to share with you 2 different versions. The first version requires a switch. The second version, there's no switch, but the angle is more sensitive. And let me share with you the first version, which we have the ace of diamonds already attached on the back of this card, which we cut out the hole right here. Now once we attach them together, it just looks like a corner of a pip just on top of the card. Now we simply release the tension. Now we just drop the ace off from the top. So that's how we do the first version. The second version, there's no switch. We basically stick this corner on the back of the card. Now we can be able to tilt up the card just like that. With a little slightly push on the index finger, we can drop both of them like that. Now this one is more visual. It requires no switch, but the angle is more sensitive. Now in the next section, we're going to show you how to do both versions. Alright guys, now let me show you how to make the gimmick. So first of all, we're going to need this template, which you guys are going to receive inside the package. And also we need 1 card, so we're going to rip a corner off. And the best cards to use are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are the best cards to use. Because those cards, they all have 1 corner, which contains 1 pip, which we're going to rip it off and help us to create the illusion later, right? So for explanation purpose, we are going to use the 8 of diamonds for now. Also, we need 1 card that will match with the same pip. Like I'm using the diamonds here, I'm going to use the diamonds here too. So those are cards we're going to force on your spectator. We are going to use the ace of diamonds for now. You can also use other suits like ace of clubs, ace of hearts. Ace of spades doesn't work that well because spades looks a lot bigger, so it doesn't work with this illusion. So instead we can use like a 3 of spades. Has the spades in the middle. When we put a gimmick card on top of it, it just looks like a pip on corner of a card, right? So once you have all the cards, we're going to make this gimmick happen. Alright, so once you guys have all the cards ready, let's start by prepare this template. So once you receive it, the template is a piece of acrylic. It just covered with 2 pieces of paper. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna peel it just like that with a fingernail. Just press down and you're gonna find a corner. So pinch on the corner, slowly just peel it off like that to prevent this acrylic get scratched. So once you peel off the back, now we're gonna peel off the front. So from here, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna peel off from the corner, just like that. We're gonna pinch on the corner, slowly peel the back like that. All right, so it doesn't matter if it breaks. So now it slowly goes around. Now we peel the entire thing up like that. So once you have this ready, we're gonna grab any other card, it doesn't matter which one. So we are gonna use this, looks like a Batman symbol right here. We're gonna match it up with this shape right over here, right? So we're gonna make sure both of them are gonna match up like that. Right? So before we put the template on the card, we also need a little piece of double-sided tape. So we flip it over. So we're gonna put the tape right in the middle, center of the template like that. Now I'm gonna peel it off. Perfect. Now we are going to put this piece right on top of it, just like what we did before. Now we have this template just in the right position. Now you can see both images 100% matching each other like that, right? So once we're ready for it with a double-sided tape stick on it, now we're gonna take an exact knife. We're gonna cut through the 3 layers of playing cards from here all the way to here, right? So I'm gonna do that right now. So you can press down so the entire card doesn't move. So from this corner right here, we're gonna push down really hard. So we're gonna cut through the 3 layers of the playing cards. So just like that. We're gonna do the corner. So for the corner, we want to do nice slowly, so it'll create the perfect curve. So now we'll do the same thing on this side. We're gonna go all the way down to here. Now we can do a check, make sure this piece has completely cut through, just like that, right? So once we have the both sides cut it, now we're gonna peel the entire thing off. We're gonna add one more piece of the double-sided tape on the back of the template, just like this. Now we just peel it off. All right, now once we have this over here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn the entire card over, and we're gonna turn this template over as well. Now we're gonna find this right corner. We're just gonna stick it back on the corner, just like what we did before on the back of the playing card. Now once we have the template stick on the right position, we're going to take the entire thing off by ripping it. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna paint the entire thing like that. The playing card, also the template, we are going to rip the template down like that. So now this side of the playing cards, you're gonna tear towards yourself. My left hand is gonna tear down, so it looks like that, just like this. We're gonna ripping. My right hand is going up, my left hand is going down, so it looks just like that. We'll just tear through the entire template just like this. Now once we finish that, you turn the entire thing over. Now we can see the beautiful white section of the playing cards, which will help us to create the illusion, right? So now we don't need this. We'll just put them away for now. So once you've done that, you just basically finish your gimmick card. Now we can do a quick test. Place a card on top of it. It just looks like we have the corner sitting on top of it. Alright guys, I just spent some more time and made a brand new gimmick card just like this. I spent more time of ripping the corner off. As you can see, it shows a lot more white area, which really helps to create the illusion like the corner is sitting on top of the card. So now let's do a quick test. Once we put them all together, it looks like a corner is sitting on top of the playing card, just like that. And this white area really helps. Looks like those are the tearing part of this corner. So once we're happy with this design, we're gonna put this ace aside for now. And we're gonna grab the 8. We are going to gimmick this 8 in a very simple way, because later on we are going to rip this corner off. We're gonna make sure this corner looks as similar as possible to this cutout right here. So how we're gonna do that? We're gonna grab this template, because the template is the same size as this cutout like that. So we are going to put this on top of it, just like that. Now imagine if we rip this corner off, this is gonna match with this one right here. But we cannot cut on the top of it, so we're gonna put this right behind it. So now with the second piece of the double-sided tape, we're gonna put this corner right behind the 8, just like that. We're gonna make sure the top is aligned, the bottom, the side is aligned, just like that. So once we're happy with it, we'll just stick them all together like that. All we need to do is grab this exact knife. We're just going to cut through only one layer of the playing card, just like that. We basically very lightly scratch the playing card like that. So we want to cut through about 2 layers or 1 layer, doesn't matter. At the same time, we don't want to cut through the entire playing cards. So once we've done that, we can do a double check, make sure it doesn't cut through the front. Then we just slowly peel it off like that. Now if you watch it closely, you can see there's a cut line just go through the cards like that. Now later on, we're gonna rip this corner off from this card. We're gonna follow this cut line just like that. After we rip the corner, this corner is going to match with this cutout. So once you have them ready, let's get into the preparation for this effect. Alright guys, we just made all the gimmicks. Now let's talk about how to set up for this effect. We need a pair of ace of diamonds, also a gimmick card we made earlier, also one card, we're gonna rip the corner off. And other than that, we also need a deck of cards. Before we do the setup, we need to make one more card. This card can be any card, just grab any card you like. We're gonna grab the double-sided tape. Just need a one little square of double-sided tape. We'll just place it somewhere in the middle of this X card, which is any card you like. And this card, we're gonna use it later to keep the corner safe and secure. Now we got everything ready. Now let's set it up. So we have the entire deck of cards. We're gonna turn everything face up for now. We're gonna start by turn the bottom 3 cards face down like this. Now we're gonna grab the ace of diamonds. We're gonna put a gimmick card on top of it. Now let's talk about the orientation of this tier. Because let's say if your audience is looking at the cards like this way, we want this white area, the ripped area, always face towards your audience. Because if we turn everything around like this, now your audience might catch the shadow of this gap right here, so which will give the secret away. So always remember, have this white area facing towards your audience like that. So for now, I'm gonna hold it like this way. So now we just have 3 cards facing down. We have the 4th card, ace of diamonds, the gimmick card right here. Now we're gonna turn everything face down again. First of all, we're gonna place this card which has the double side tape on the back of it. Now we're gonna place the card, we're gonna rip a corner off, the 4 diamonds on top of it. Now we're gonna have the ace of diamonds on top of it. Now we're ready to perform. Now let's say you are ready to perform. So you're gonna show your spectator, you get a deck of cards. Now we're gonna force your spectator the ace of diamonds. Now I'm just gonna show you the easiest way to do it, which is gonna be a riffle force. So we're just gonna swing card like this, grab the card to the other hand. Now we're gonna put everything on top of it. So with your right hand, little pinky, we're gonna keep a brick above all the cards on top of it. Now it doesn't matter where your spectator say stop, you're just gonna grab everything above this brick, which gonna show this ace of diamonds is their card. So we're gonna hand this card to a spectator. Now this is so important, we're gonna keep this bottom half back to the top like this, which means we'll still have the bottom set just like that. Now we're ready to give the card to a spectator, let them show the card to everyone to make sure they remember the selection. Now after they've done that, we're gonna grab the card back, just put it anywhere, like it doesn't matter, just push the card back in. From here, you can just snap your finger, say your card just jumped to the top, the 4 diamonds, which is not their card. Now we're gonna say, I've never made a mistake before, so how about let me show something even better. So what happened here is we're gonna grab the card up, and at the entire time, we're never gonna flash the bottom of the deck, which we already have the gimmick here. So it's so important when we ripping the corner off, always make sure this side of the deck is always facing towards your audience. And just like I'm showing right now, so you can see, you cannot see the bottom of it, right? So from here, we're gonna start to ripping this corner off. It's important to tear the corner towards yourself like this. Now it's gonna be very easy to tear. We're just gonna follow this cut and just finish the tear just like that. So after we separate the corner and the card, we're gonna hand the rest of the card to a spectator. For this corner, we're gonna place it just on top of it like that, right? Now this is so important. Start from this moment, you want to make sure everyone is keeping their eyes on this corner. So from here, you're gonna say, let me show you something very interesting. I don't even want to touch this corner. I'm just gonna leave this on top of one card like that, right? I'm gonna hold everything just like this, so I make sure I don't touch the corner. Now from here, you're gonna ask your spectator to hold out their hand. So let's say your spectator just hold their hand below your hands like that. Now we're gonna perform a switch. So this might sound really crazy, but we're gonna using a big move to cover small move. So the big move is we're going to grab your audience hand to ask them to take one step forward like that. So it's gonna look like this. We place the corner on top of it. Now we're gonna take everything out like that. Ask your audience to hand their hands out. Now I'm gonna say, oh, wait a second, this lighting is a little bit off. How about you take one step forward? So from here, while I'm saying that line, my left hand gonna transfer the entire thing to the right hand like this. And I'm using my thumb to press down on top of it. So now this corner is stick on the back of the double side tape like that. Now I'm gonna grab the audience hand. I'm gonna pull the entire person towards me like that, right? So it's gonna look like, oh, this lighting is a little bit off. I put the cards back, I grab the hand. My right hand is actually gonna go on top of their shoulder like that. Then I pull the entire person towards me. So where my right hand's coming back to my left hand, what happened is my hand's already turned up. So when I put my right hand back to my left hand, the entire deck has switched from here to here, just like that. So once again, so let's say we have the corner right over here, and we ask your audience to hold out the hand. We're gonna say, oh, wait a second, the lighting is a little bit off. How about you guys take one step forward? So now my left hand grab their hand, my right hand turn face up while I put my hand on top of their shoulder. So now I put the entire person towards me. Now I put my right hand, the entire deck, back to my left hand like that. Now we just complete the switch from here to here, right? So now, after we've done the switch, I'm gonna transfer the cards back to my right hand. So we're going to make a break above the top 2 cards like that. So you can do a thumb count, just pinch like that and use your thumb to count 1, 2 cards like that. So the best way is actually do it tilt up slightly like that, so your audience don't see the gap in between the 2 cards. Or you can do the thumb count over here. Use your thumb to do the count like that, right? So whatever way you like, the best way is always use the thumb count like that, so like this. So after we pick a break, now we can pick up the top 2 cards all together, which in your audience perspective, you only pick up the top card with the corner still sitting on top of it. Now, here's a little subtlety of how to pick it up. So we don't want to leave too much gap in between the 2 cards. We can't want to curve the top 2 cards down like that. I mean, it's exaggerating right now, so we actually don't want to bend that much down. We actually just curve slightly, so there's no actual space in between gimmick card and also the ace of diamonds, which will help the illusion, so it looks like the corner is still sitting on top of it. Now after we pick it up, now we're gonna ask your audience to have the hand come out one more time. Now we're gonna ask them to take the rest of the card back again. So this is a very nice subtlety. Ask your audience to confirm it's still the same corner, so it's still matched with the rest of the card. So this is also a convincer for your audience to believe this is still a corner. They still can pick it up and still can match with the card. But now we just grab the rest of the card, match it up, say it still matches with your card. Is that right? Then they say right. So from here, all you need to do, just slowly release the tension on your middle finger and your thumb. You can have this card to fall down on their hand like that. So now, this is very important. This is a crazy magic moment. You want them to digest this moment. You don't want to rush it. So once you drop this bottom card, you want to separate them away like that, so they can have a nice compare. There's a hole on the back of the blue card. Also, their selections appear inside their hand. So you want to pause about 3 seconds. Then you can say, oh, you can keep this card, and that is your card. So that is a basic handling for this mimic. Alright guys, now let me show you how to make the gimmick for the non-switch version, so you can perform the same effect without the switch. Alright guys, now let's talk about how to make the gimmick for the non-switch version. So we're gonna grab any card you like, doesn't matter. I'm gonna grab this card right here. And we also need this template we had earlier. So now we have double-sided tape on both sides of it. Now we're gonna do the same thing just like what we did before. We're gonna have this brown area match with this design right over here. So I'm gonna do this right now. Match it up just like that. Now the key here is we're gonna cut a corner. Just looks like this. However, it's gonna be slightly bigger than this template, because later on we're gonna rip the corner off. We're gonna have the corner stick on top of this flap, so we're gonna make sure the flap is very easy to fall. Alright, now let's start cut it. So we're gonna grab X-Acto knife. We're gonna cut this line here. We're gonna cut this line here as well. Now we're gonna do this right in front of you like that. So just gonna cut the entire 3 layers off. We're gonna turn the corner, do the same thing. We're gonna cut it through like that. Now we're actually gonna cut just a little bit more than this template. So if the template starts from here, we actually cut just a little bit more than that, like this. We're gonna do the same thing on this side too. We're gonna just cut just a little bit more than this template. Now here's the tricky part. We're gonna follow the same design, however, we're gonna keep a bit distance away from the template like that. So we're gonna do it now. Just try your best to follow the shape. But however, at the same time, we're gonna keep the distance away from the template. So just like that. All right, we're gonna repeat the same step so we can be able to cut through all the layers, top the entire thing off. Now we just made a corner gimmick which is slightly bigger than the template. Now we don't need this template, we're just gonna put this away for now. Now we're gonna place this piece back on to this cutout corner, just like that. Now we're gonna grab the clear tape, just need a little tiny piece. So this is gonna be long enough to cover the entire side over here. So from here, we're actually gonna trim a little bit off. So now we're just gonna stick this piece right on top of it like that. Now we can actually take the entire corner out and make sure it's very nicely, firmly stick on it. Now we just trim the excess part like that. Perfect. Now we can place this piece back on and press it down like that. All right, so once we've done that, we flip it over. It looks like a brand new card. We didn't do anything to it, just like any other normal card. So from here, we're gonna do one more thing, which we're gonna turn the entire thing down like this. We're gonna take any solid objects. We're just gonna press down. So we're gonna make sure this tape is crisp in the middle. So we want to have a very nice fold. So once we press down on this corner, so it's very easy for it to fall down like that. So somewhere about 90 degrees will be very nice. So just like what we did right here. So once we've done that, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna grab any card with the diamonds on the corner, like this 5 diamonds right now. We're gonna take the template one more time because we're gonna rip this corner off. So we're gonna place the template right behind it. Once again, make sure top is aligned, side is aligned. Press down firmly. Take exact knife. We're gonna trim, just cut through the back layers, about 2 layers. So once again, don't cut through the entire thing. So just use the exact knife, just cut through a couple times, very lightly like that. So once we've done that, we just finish this cards right here. We can just rip it for the performance. Now, there's one more thing before we use this gimmick, which is we're gonna place a double-sided tape in the middle of it, because this is gonna help us to keep this corner secure on top of it. Once this flap falls down, the corners still stick to it. So now we're gonna do the same thing, press it down, and we're gonna peel this double-sided tape off like that. All right, so now we just finished the entire gimmick. Now we have this gimmick with a flap with a double-sided tape on top of it. Now we also have the card. We cut through 2 layers on back of it. So we're now ready to tear this corner off, place top of it. Alright guys, now I have all your gimmicks ready. Now let's set it up. So now let's grab the whole deck of cards. We're gonna start by having the ace of diamonds on top of it. Now we're gonna follow by this gimmick card we made earlier, which have a flap on top of it. Now, we want to make sure the orientation of the flap is always fall down towards you. So this is the right position. So now we're going to put on top of it. Now we're going to put any of the diamonds, which we're going to rip the corner off later, on top of it. Now lastly, we're going to put the force card on top of it. Now you are ready to perform this effect. You can show the entire deck of cards like that. Now we're going to start by force your spectator, the ace of diamonds. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to swing cut. We're going to do the force like that. Grab everything up, show your audience their selection. Now it's so important to place this top half back on top like that. So we still have maintain the entire stack on top of the deck like that, all right? Now, after your spectator, remember the card, put the card back inside just like before. Now just snap the finger and slowly turn the top card over and show a spectator if this is your card. They're gonna say it's not my card. They're gonna say, don't worry, I'm gonna show you something even better. I believe your card is still diamond. I'm gonna use a little bit of your imagination. So I'm gonna slowly rip this corner off like this. So from here, we're doing the same thing. We rip this corner towards yourself. Now we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna hand the rest of the card to your spectator. We're gonna keep this rest of the card inside your hand. So from here, we're going to place this corner right in the middle of this flap. So if you take a look at the flap right here, we're gonna place it somewhere in the middle, just like that. So you still can see a little bit of black area outside of it. So that is the perfect area. That's perfect space for the corner to force down, right? So from here, we're gonna do our best to put it somewhere in the middle like that. So once we're done, we're gonna use the 2 fingers to grab the top 2 cards all together like that. So we have the ace of diamonds already on bottom of it. So now from here, once again, we have this corner. Tell your spectator, I'm gonna show you something very interesting with this corner. I don't even want to touch it. So I'm gonna put it somewhere in the middle of the deck like that. So now I'm gonna grab the top card. So from here, you just grab the top 2 cards all together like that, right? So from here, you're gonna use your index finger to touch on this corner right in the middle like that, because we are going to tilt the entire cards up like that to create a better angle for a spectator. Because once this flap falls down, we want to use this area, the bottom area of the card, to block your audience view so they don't see this flap still attached on the back of the card. Once we pick everything up, we're going to use the index finger to touch on the corner. Now, tilt everything up about 45 degrees. It also depends on your performance angle, how far away from your audience. So what happens is once you press down on this corner, the bottom ace will pops out like that, and also the flap will fall towards you like that. So now from this angle, your audience won't be able to see this flap right behind this card, but then all their attention is going to be the ace of diamonds. Alright, so from here, what I like to do is, we still have the deck of cards inside your hand. Now I just transfer my left hand towards my right hand, and I use my thumb to press everything down like that. So now I can be able to show this corner and have this flap hidden behind the entire deck of cards like that. So from here, what we can do is, you actually can press down on the entire flap and also the corner. Now you can peel the entire thing out like that. So my right hand thumb is pressed down on this corner. Now my left hand is pinching on the gimmick card. I pull everything upward like that. So it looks like that. Now this flap just comes off from this gimmick card. Now this is free to hand out to your spectator. Now you basically finish the entire routine for this non-switch version. Alright guys, now we have a couple of very useful tips to make your performance even more smoothly. We're gonna start with the switch version. Now let's say we have this corner ready inside your left hand. Now we just place back on top of the deck. Now what we're gonna do is, we're gonna draw attention away from the deck and tell your audience something about a sleeve. You can say, I want you guys to make sure there's nothing inside my sleeve. Actually, I'm gonna roll everything up, so make sure there's nothing there. So from that process, we already finished the switch. We just turn the deck upside down, just like that. Very easy to do. I highly recommend you guys to try both switch and see which one you guys prefer. For the non-switch version, it is very visually fooling, but the angle is quite sensitive. The best is for a small amount of audience, or even for social media, when your audience can watch the video over and over again. So while you practice this version, the best way is to use a camera to film yourself from all different angles. So in that way, you know how much you should tilt up the cards and how much your audience should stay away from you. So those are all the tips for you guys to try them out and have fun with them. Alright guys, so that's it. That's everything you guys should know about Mimic. And a lot of people think puzzles cannot be magic, but think about this. This effect looks so good, just like a miracle that just go beyond any language barrier. Now let's imagine you just walk to any foreign country, you don't speak their language, they don't understand what you're saying. You can still impress them in just 2 minutes. To me, that's what real magic looks like. You don't have anything, just walk out there and use magic as a language to communicate with your audience. Also remember, stay tuned with us. We got a lot more new product coming out from our Sense Minds Magic. So once again, my name is Jason. I'll see you guys next time.